In aviation, we have something we call the accident chain. In a second, I'll relate that back to software projects, but to put it simply, the accident chain is the series of events that add up to an airplane crash. It could be running low on fuel, or flying in bad weather, or at night, or without the proper equipment in your airplane. And the theory of the accident chain is that if you can remove one of those variables, if you can get the pilot to do the flight in the daylight, or fix the broken equipment or whatnot, the accident would not have happened. You'd break that chain. The same thing is true in software development projects. The other day, a client called me up.
X-ray contact Los Angeles Center 125.8.
25.8, she's X-ray. 1 sec. LA Center, Lancer 92 Sierra X-ray, checking on 11.5.
92 Sierra X-ray, LA Center, Roger. The Bourbon altimeter 299.5.
95, she's X-ray.
That was 30.
Anyway, the client called me up. There were some delays on the project, and I had to get back to him and say, you know what? We're entering the timeline twilight zone. It's death by 1,000 paper cuts, because the one change they made wasn't a killer in and of itself, but it came on top of several other small changes. And this is a great client, great project, and we had an honest conversation, and we agreed that we needed to do one of the three things that you can do to break the project accident chain. In their case, we chose to reduce scope. The other things you can do is increase the timeline, which I think is actually the most favorable and usually the most honest. Or you can, the third thing is you can throw additional resources or people at the project, which I think is usually not viable, because it takes more time and energy to bring other team members on board. Sometimes it ends up costing even more time than it would have originally. One of the things you should never lie to yourself about, and I've discovered this the hard way, is you should never say, oh, we'll just speed up and pick up speed at the end, or we built in a little extra time, we'll use that. Because what always ends up happening in that case is you compress the timeline at the end, and guess what you sacrifice? It's testing. And when you sacrifice testing on a software project, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, because if you're not testing, you don't find the bugs and the areas where the software will break. Therefore, you think you have a good release, you release the software, it blows up, and you have angry investors or angry clients or end users. So we don't want that. We don't want airplane crashes or project crashes. Love to hear your comments on how you've managed to avoid, or how you've managed to break the accident chain in your software project. And as always, I'll comment back as quickly as I can. Thanks for your feedback.